Thank you for staying with us. We still have with us our panelists via phone as well as in our Abuja studio. But just before we went on the break, Cliff Stanley gave us pretty much how young people can, be able to have a say when that time comes. But Cliff, again, let me come to you. I'm looking at how young people can raise money when the time comes. Online is also one of those platforms. I mean, you have all the GoFundMes and, pretty much the crowdfunding, other crowdfunding, this thing. But so how would you do that? All right, while we try to get Cliff, let's quickly go to our Abuja studio where Votapa is there as well as Emmanuel. But Votapa, quickly give us an inkling if it is going to be possible or if it's something that we're going to see moving forward, how young people will come together to crowdfund using GoFundMe and any of the crowdfunding applications and websites and all of that. Is that something that we would be seeing, in terms of trying to help young people to compete in the space? And not just by, going to register, but also by seeking elective positions?
Yeah, of course. I know a lot of people, friends, a lot of young people that are already seeking out measures online on how to raise funds and how to get money, crowdfund, in order to be part of. So apart from voting, you should also be voted for if you can or if you want to. So I've seen a situation, I have seen a situation where a lot of young people are putting their heads together, devising means where they can come together and raise funds to be part of the electoral process as people that should be voted for. There are so many platforms, as we all know. There is GoFundMe, and of course, social media is an important tool as well, and we know young people and social media. So I know that so many people are using social media as a means to raise money, to be part of the election, and I know it's going to bring results. Like, a lot of people are going to be part of it when they see that, oh, there's transparency in the process. I mean, we've seen recent happenings in Nigeria where young people raised money to do things on their own. So we believe that once there's transparency amongst them, online, GoFundMe, and every other crowdfunding system, a lot of young people will be a part of it, and it's going to work really, really well.
All right. Also, we're looking at the fact that, one of the most powerful tools that people have used, like you said, to crowdfund and get money to do stuff for themselves is Twitter. And right now, Twitter is really having not so a good time with the federal government of Nigeria. So how would that play out? I mean, how important do you think that would, how much impact would that have in terms of contributing for people?
Well, they say in the absence of the preferable, you use the available. So thank God for Facebook. I mean, Facebook is a very big, it's a huge community. I think almost everyone has a Facebook account. So now that Twitter has been banned, a lot of people have gone to reactivate their Facebook accounts. A lot of people have gone to open new Facebook accounts, and Facebook is now a strong tool that so many young people are reverting to, pending when the issue between the federal government and Twitter is resolved. I mean, we can't just sit and fold our arms that, oh, Twitter is no longer working in Nigeria, so we can't do anything. We have to use what we have in our hand, and that's Facebook. So thankfully, I mean, we even have more people. We can reach more people on Facebook. So a lot of people have resolved to using Facebook. A lot of young people are going back to using Facebook, and I know it's going really well so far.
All right, let me quickly get back to Cliff. I believe we're having back on phone. Cliff, we're looking at how funds can be raised for young people who will be contesting in the 2023 elections and even further polls. I mean, what other way do you think that can be done? What other way do you think they would give them that ability, to be able to compete in the contest?
Yeah, for sure. I think as far as I'm concerned, most of us have to refer to some of our associations, either the Old Boys Association in the secondary school, Old Boys Association in the university, your community association, probably some of your state and tribal association. These are fragmented associations that we have that helps anytime we're going into politics. That's why you find out anytime somebody is coming, start to associate with some of these organizations that are going to pave way. And you're going to have free will donations from other people that believe in you, that are capable of what you are capable to do as young people. But we'll be able to see whereby young people were able to program themselves during the NSAS process, whereby they were able to get money from so many quarters, whereby they were able to account for the money and how they spend it and how they were able to do things. So it has given us a prelude on that. Most younger people can be able to organize themselves. They can be able to have support from virtually everywhere. In as much as I believe the Constitution has not allowed people from other places to be able to donate money with the ban of Twitter. But I still believe Twitter is a very strong platform whereby before the 2023 election, just as Botafoe said, I believe the Nigerian government can be able to resolve the crisis that we're having with Twitter, and at the same time, younger people are going to do. And I feel it's as a result of that INEC are giving a younger people, because that process has taken shape as far as the Nigerian politics is concerned. Give the younger generation a voice for them to be able to organize themselves. And as much as there are so many issues here and there, but I think we're going to get there by the time we're in 2023 before the election.
All right, Cliff. I'd have to say thank you. Hopefully all of that would work out when the time comes, but I'd have to say thank you for joining us today on the program.
Thank you for having me, Victor.
Of course, you're welcome always. But Emmanuel, let me quickly come to you now. So we've been talking about money, how to raise money, in all of this. I mean, I don't know what the monies will be used for, when the time comes. But I mean, is it even possible to have a campaign without, necessarily spending all of that money?
So let me say this first of all. Being young, we're talking about young people and positioning them to run for office. Being young is not a skill. Being young doesn't also mean that you have the capacity or you're credible. So first of all, it depends on who is the young person that will be presenting themselves to run for office. That will go a long way to determine how many people that will rally around you to be able to help you raise this money. And talking about money, like you've mentioned, let's be sincere to ourselves and tell young people, elections are costly. It's a process that is very money demanding. So before you present yourself to run for office, you should be able to have done your own feasibility study to know that it's going to cost you money from the beginning of the process to the end. Bearing in mind that Nigeria is a place at the end of the day when you win elections most times, you still go to court. So it's a costly business. So, but then, talking about how to raise money, like he mentioned, you remember all of us who observed the NSAS protests that lasted for that period of time. We could see clearly how monies were raised using different platforms. Even so you can't even put it around the how to raise this money when it comes. When the time comes, young people are very innovative. They will create many ways to raise money. But then, who is the person? And then, talking about costs. And going back to the Electoral Amendment Act. Before now, political parties in their primaries will just put very, very funny cost to nomination forms, as much as 10 million, 20 million, which makes it impossible. I go back to the Electoral Act again, because with the Electoral Act Amendment Bill, if it pulls through, Section 87 has put a benchmark to how much that every candidate can spend. I understand that the House of Assembly State House is going to be 500,000 naira, House of Rep 1 million, Senate 2 million. It makes it possible, and we can plan. It's not fair that young people tell a young person to bring 10 million, and at the end of the day, you see the political party will bring up very funny reasons why they are disqualifying you. So that same Section 87 of that same Electoral Act has put straight up what could be used to disqualify someone. So party people cannot just, bend the whole process and just to disqualify young people.
All right, let's just wait and see how it's going to turn out. Of course, the electoral bill, that is, hopefully it comes out, and of course, it gives that leeway to everyone. It's inclusive for everyone, to be a part of the process. But I have to say thank you to you, Emmanuel Njoku, for joining us today on the program. And also, just right beside you there in the Abuja studio, Botafoe Taragi as well. Thank you for joining us on the program today as well. Thank you as well.